Nosferatu the Vampire is a remake of the 1922 silent film. The film follows the same plot as the first, so make sure you watch that review before watching this one. The film was directed by Werner Herzog and stars Klaus Kinski and Isabelle Adjani. Howdy folks, welcome back to Garage Vampire-thon, where every day for the month of October we look at a vampire movie. We're talking about a remake today, a remake of a beloved classic, Nosferatu the Vampire, which is a remake of Nosferatu, A Symphony of the Night. This movie was directed by Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog is mostly known for his documentary filmmaking. Lo and Behold, Grizzly Man, great movies. He has a movie that's coming out soon, or came out soon, I can't remember, but I'm definitely going to check that one out before the end of the year. I really like Werner Herzog. They say never meet your heroes, but I'd love to grab a beer with Werner Herzog. The man got shot in the stomach and didn't even flinch.
I've somehow left the paved road. Nobody cares about my films. For example, what was that?
We quickly realised that some wacko had taken a pot shot at us with an air rifle, and Herzog had been hit.
So this literally just happened when we were standing outside there,
camera.
And there was a noise, and it was a whiz, and you just said, "I've been shot." Look, you're bleeding.
I think here somewhere. Yeah.
Look, somebody shot at you and created a wound in your abdomen.
It's not significant.
He's one of those people, kind of like a David Lynch, that everything he does is a meme, which makes you respect him. This is a meshing of Nosferatu and Dracula. I wouldn't call it a remake of Nosferatu. The title is Nosferatu, the design of the character is kind of similar to Nosferatu, it follows the same beats as Nosferatu, but they bring in some elements from the Bram Stoker novel. First of all, they use the term Nosferatu and Dracula interchangeably, and then there's some characters from Dracula that make their way into this movie. You have Harker and Lucy, which are characters from the original Nosferatu, but then you have characters like Van Helsing, who is synonymous with the Bram Stoker novel, and Renfield, who is also synonymous with the Bram Stoker novel. One thing I liked about Renfield in this movie, Renfield is an absolute treasure in this movie, I would say, because when he laughs, his laugh was eerily similar to another laugh, and I was like, who the fuck laughs like that? And I finally figured it out. He laughs like the Joker baby. I'm the Joker baby! The opening of this film is a very macabre opening. You get dead people's skulls, and it really sets the tone. This ain't your grandpa's Nosferatu. This is a completely different Nosferatu. And I will say that although I do prefer the atmosphere of the original Nosferatu, just because of that very expressionist style that you don't get quite as often, this one does something different, but it still works. This is a really good movie when it comes to building atmosphere. One scene that I really noticed something is when Harker goes to the inn before going to Dracula's castle. There's a duck in the bar. Just a duck chilling out with all of the townsfolk.
Wirt, mein Essen. Ich muss heute noch zu Graf Draculas Schloss.
I'm also going to mention this. This is the first Dracula movie of this series so far to have gypsies. You would think that Dracula takes place in Transylvania. You would get a lot more of the gypsies and a little feel of Romania. But no, these movies, they tend to just go to Dracula's castle in Transylvania, stay in the castle, then go back to the hometown. You don't spend much time in Romania, and this movie spends some time in Romania, which really made me appreciate this movie. One thing that this movie does really differently from the original Nosferatu is that the castle is not real in here. There's like ghosts going around. There's something that suggests that this might be going on all in Harker's mind. There's a recurring boy who's playing the violin ominously. So little details like that just add to the atmosphere quite a bit, and it's stuff that you couldn't do in a silent film. Speaking of things you can't quite do in a silent film, there's dialogue in this movie, and it's not really good, which is the main thing I didn't like about this movie. It makes you really go back to that silent movie and enjoy it quite a bit more. I thought the dialogue in here was really on the nose. There's even a part where there's like an exposition dump at the beginning when Renfield is telling Harker about the mission he has to do, and Harker says, "Oh, but if I do this mission, I could finally buy a better house for Lucy." And you're like, that's inner monologue, or you're saying that out loud. Okay. And one other thing that the original does a lot better than the remake is that Nosferatu's design is really not as iconic. It's a lot more muted, which is understandable. It's not that expressionist feeling of the original movie. You're trying to go for something a little more grounded. But they kind of made Nosferatu more grounded. He doesn't have the big pointy ears and the long pointy teeth and the long fingernails. It's like he has all of those features, but they're just scaled down. His teeth are shorter, his fingernails are more normal, his ears are more normal. But he ultimately just ends up looking like Uncle Fester, which I don't like. It kind of took me out of the movie as well. You have Uncle Fester running around with "I'm the Joker baby." Another thing that kept taking me out of the movie, this isn't like the movie's fault by any means, but the lead actor in this is the same guy who played Hitler in the movie Downfall, which he gives a great performance in this. And if you haven't seen the movie Downfall, what are you guys doing? The Hitler movie is awesome. Go watch the Hitler movie. Downfall is a great movie. He's great in this movie. That's not to say that the original is better than this movie by all means. There are some things that this movie does better than the original. For one, it gives a lot more development to the town. In the original, when Nosferatu arrives in the nice little innocent town, you don't really get a sense of the terror that Nosferatu brings to this innocent town. And here you get it, and they really crank it up, and it really works. When Nosferatu arrives in this town, rats are just fucking going everywhere, and there's this really beautiful scene where townsfolk are outside, and there's rats everywhere, and they're having a Last Supper outside as this plague is going around their small town. I thought that really worked. You really get to see the impact that Nosferatu's arrival has on this little town. They also give more development to Harker and Lucy. I like how Nosferatu kind of uses Harker as a way to blackmail Lucy into falling in love with him. It's something that happens in the Dracula movies, but it's not something you get in the Nosferatu movies. So having it in this one really felt like you're adding a bit more dimension to their relationship, a bit more conflict. It keeps you on the edge of your seat for a little longer. So there's some pros and cons with both. Obviously, the 1922 movie is outdated by some standards. This one fails to do certain things that the original did, but adds some elements to make it more engaging. Honestly, I really want to see Robert Eggers' version of Nosferatu. If you guys aren't aware, the director of Northman, The Lighthouse, The Witch, wanted to make a Nosferatu movie, but then chose not to do it, which is the biggest fucking cock tease ever. Oh, I'm still fucking pissed at that. I would have loved to see, like, a really accurate to its era, Romanian-feeling Nosferatu movie with a fucking creepy-ass character design, maybe film it in black and white, maybe even film it silent, who knows, but I just wanted to see Robert Eggers try his hand at Nosferatu, and we're never gonna fucking get that.
Meanwhile...
And it's weird too, because Robert Eggers says that he doesn't want to make a Nosferatu remake because the original stands well on its own. But after watching both movies almost consecutively, I can truly say that they both stand well on their own. Nosferatu to me is just one of those things that lends itself well to multiple iterations. You get like even Dracula in general. You get Dracula, you get the Christopher Lee Dracula. We talked about Nosferatu, this Nosferatu. We're going to talk about other Dracula movies going forward in this marathon. It's just one of those things. It's like Batman. It's like James Bond. Dracula is just one of those characters that are so iconic, and it's just interesting to see a different director throw their style, add to the legacy of that character. I feel like it's a huge shame he's not doing a Nosferatu movie, or at least make a Dracula movie, but it's whatever. Guys, have you seen Werner Herzog's Nosferatu the Vampire? Did you like it? What is your favorite Werner Herzog movie? And it better not be the remake of, what's that movie with fucking Harvey Keitel? Fuck! What is that movie called? Bad Lieutenant! He did a Bad Lieutenant remake with Nicolas Cage. If that's your favorite Werner Herzog movie, I applaud you. It's not mine, but I respect you. And on that note, I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Garage Vampire-thon.